بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا أما بعد. My brothers and sisters, today one of the most dominant phenomena in the world is social media. And if you think about it, the simplest description of social media is a place where people voluntarily share information about themselves, ranging from opinions to the most intimate personal details of themselves and their lives. Literally from minute to minute, moment to moment. This information is shared voluntarily, free of cost. Nobody pays them to do it by themselves. This information is shared on a public platform. That's the input side of it. The output side of it is that people who own those platforms then are at liberty to use your data any way they please. Legitimate ways, illegitimate ways, good ways, bad ways, anyway. They're free to use that data in any way they please. As a result of which, they make humongous amounts of money, which they do not share with you, even though the reason they are able to make that money is only one reason. And that reason is that you shared your data on that platform free of cost. Right? It sounds like a completely insane thing to say. Because obvious logical thing is, why would you give something that you own, which obviously has commercial value? Because if it had no commercial value, then somebody else would not be able to make money out of it. But we know they make money out of it, and they make unbelievable amounts of money out of it. So why would you share something which you have, which is of value to you, and which is in itself valuable? Why would you give it away free to someone you don't even know? I can understand if I have something which is of commercial value, monetary value, and I give it to my brother, I give it to my sister, I give it to my friend. That's okay, understandable. You want to help your friend. But why would I give it to a complete stranger I've never seen, I probably will never see in my life? For that stranger to use that thing which I have given in any way they like, at great benefit to themselves, and that benefit is not shared with me. Right? I can understand if I'm selling my stuff, for better or worse, that is understandable, right? Somebody's paying, even if they are paying me practically nothing. Somebody is giving me 10 cents for something. Okay, I'm getting 10 cents. But this is free. This is the most benign description of social media. I am open to correction. The most benign description of social media is what I've just given you. Now, there are obviously more non-benign, more malignant descriptions of social media of what is done with your information. The most benign use of it is used to generate ads, advertisements. It is sold to producers of goods and services for them to be able to create targeted ads at you because you said you are interested in something. Right? That's the most benign, most, within quotes, harmless, if I can use the word, use of that data. So, for example, I have given data, my data is showing that I am interested in, say, food of a particular kind. I'm interested in South Indian vegetarian food. How do they know that? Because before I ate my dosa this morning, I took a picture of this dosa and I posted it on Instagram. Now, why would anyone be interested in my dosa? Well, I don't ask that question. Nobody asks the question. But this is almost standard now. Before you eat the food, you don't say Bismillah. you don't thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You take a picture of the food and you post it on social media. Why is anyone even interested in what you eat? But you post it. So now what happens is, now they know that so-and-so likes this kind of food. So now I get ads from restaurants which are selling that food, or from people, ready-made dosa batter or whatever, right? So it comes to this. And so also for everything else. I'm interested in watches, I get advertisements for watches. I'm interested in cars, I get ads for cars. Whatever. Most benign use of this. Less benign uses of this information, my personal information which I have given, would be to send me information which steers my mind towards a certain way of thinking. For example, if I express interest either by posting my own information or my own opinions, or by clicking something which is already there and I like it, or I put a thumbs up sign on it or a heart on it or something. So I'm saying, okay, I like this kind of information. So if I say I like information, or I'm interested in information about, say, what is happening in Iran, in the war, or in the funeral of Ayatollah Khamenei, which is going on, then I will get more and more and more and more information about that. Right? More clips and more videos and more opinions and more pictures. Similarly, if I say I'm interested in the 250th anniversary of American independence, then I will get all of that stuff. Whichever I express interest in, I get this. So my mind is steered towards that. So now I develop an opinion which is pro or anti whatever I have been selecting. This is how elections are influenced. This is how candidates are built up or destroyed, and so on and so on. And there are more malignant ways in which this is used. The key thing is that all this information, if somebody using spyware or surveillanceware were able to get this or extract this information from you, it would be completely and totally illegal. Right? In theory, you could sue them. In theory, they would go to jail because they have taken your information, which is your private information, and they have taken that information and they are using it for their benefit. So this would be something which would be illegal. It would be something which is, which is potentially they are culpable. But when you volunteer that information, voluntarily when you are giving them that information, then it's completely legal. They can do whatever they want with it. That's what is happening. This is what social media is, and this is the basis on which these enormous empires are built, which are today we know that these social media empires, they literally they influence how we what we eat, what we see, what we how we vote, who we vote for, and how we run the country. And so all of this is influenced by this voluntarily for us. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is that none of this is necessary. None of this needs to happen. And always the question is, so what if I don't do it? Everybody else is doing it. That's not the point. The point is that each one must do what is right. Right? You don't share your data. Let somebody else do it. That's up to them. But why must your data be part of that? So that is the key thing is, what do I do? Now for that, one of the uh, something I was reading the other day. There's a kind of philosophy called Stoic philosophy. And the great Stoics of the world, these are people who lived, sometimes more than 2,000 years ago. Seneca, for example, of the Romans, or Epictetus of Greeks, or even Marcus Aurelius. Amazing. To be a Roman emperor and to be a Stoic is like two completely opposite things. It's the Roman emperors were not like this. But these were people who thought about life and who came up with some very extremely powerful and very useful principles. And when I tell you what they are, they're very, very similar to what we talk in Islam. Now they have 5 principles that the Stoics said, and they said these 5 things must always be kept private. They must not be shared with anybody. The first of it, he says, safeguard your innermost anxieties and doubts. Don't talk about that. Now on social media, you find this is the first thing that people talk about. Right? He says, never share your anxieties and doubts. Voicing intimate struggles can undermine your own resilience. See, at the end of the day, whatever doubt you have, whatever anxiety you have, whatever fear you have, how will it go? Who will take it away? It's not some external forces. You have to do it. It's your struggle. And you will sabotage your own struggle by telling people about those things. Now, I'm not saying don't tell a specific person for a reason. For example, if you have a doubt and so on, and you want to clarify the doubt with somebody who has that knowledge, or you go to a counselor to speak to them because something is bothering you, or you have a close friend or your spouse or somebody with whom you have that relationship where you talk. We're not talking about that. Yes, it is legitimate and it is possible, and it is something which can be done where you can seek the help of someone to help you over a doubt. So this is possible. But I'm talking about generally speaking about doubts. Including, for example, if you take about, today one of the most common topics in the world is to talk about politics in the sense of what will happen to us, and this is happening, that is happening, and the whole economic order will collapse. And if all that it does is it raises your own anxiety levels, doesn't do you any benefit. So the first thing is safeguard your innermost anxieties and doubts. Voicing intimate struggles can undermine resilience. Number 2, keep your health conditions confidential. Don't tell your doctor, right? By all means, obviously. But don't tell anybody else. Do not talk about bodily functions. Do not talk about your health conditions. Preserve your own dignity. Preserve your own dignity. Why do you tell people? I mean, what can anyone do? I have this problem. So what shall I do? Why are you telling me? If I'm your doctor, that's fine. But other than that, so preserve your dignity. Do not talk about your health conditions. Number 3, do not talk about financial issues. Maintain secrecy about financial status. Self-worth stems from within, not from material assets. Don't talk about how much money you have, what property you have, how many cars. Keep your financial details private. That's not anybody else's information. Don't talk about that. Now, people like to boast about it. There is almost nobody, I can say practically zero, maybe your own father or someone, or mother. Other than that, if you are doing badly, at most people will have pity on you. That's it. They will not put their hand in their pocket and take out 10 rupees to give you. They will just have pity on you, and that will become a subject of conversation between them, gossip. If you are doing well, they will be jealous of you. That's it. One of two things. Either they have pity on you or they are jealous of you. Somebody who will be genuinely happy that you are doing well, believe me, I don't know of anyone except your own parents. कोई नहीं रहता, या तो जलते हैं या आप you become one subject of conversation. आपको मालूम उन्हें क्या हो रहा है उसके पास. In Islam, obviously it is haram, but I'm just saying that, So keep your financial status secret. That's your business. Don't tell anybody about it. Number 4, your personal relationships. Keep those also private. That's your personal relationship. It's nothing to do with anybody else. So keep those private, because those are things which strengthen your friendships. Don't tell anybody. And the 5th one is protect your candid self reflections. Inner growth requires safe space, that is, space which is safe from judgment. So keep your personal reflections, candid reflections. This refers also to spiritual things. Your things which regard to your reflections about Islam, about your deen, about your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so on. Keep this private. Once again, if there is somebody specific who has knowledge, who you want to share it with, an individual, whoever is, your teacher or something, that's fine. But other than that, generally speaking about it, and definitely all of these things, posting on social media, absolutely, this is the most stupid thing that you can ever do. So 5 things: safeguard your innermost doubts and anxieties. Number 2, safeguard your own health details. Don't tell anyone. 3, safeguard your financial details. 4, safeguard details about your relationships. And 5, protect your candid self-reflections, because they are nobody else's business, and keep them private, because otherwise you are opening yourself to harm, literally harm in physical sense or in a non-physical sense, but opening yourself to harm. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us wisdom and to live a life which is full of dignity and self-respect. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.